Okay. Well, the second biggest thing that's going on right now in hip hop is the Diddy situation.
That's the second? I think that's the first.
Well,
hey, listen, when I found
it's definitely the first, but right now in terms of time-wise,
okay.
It's a little bit older. It's had a little bit more time to age.
Man, every day there's something new.
Oh, yeah, every day there's something new. And I think, I got interviewed by Piers Morgan and News Nation, I believe. And I think I was the first person on TV to talk about how Diddy's being called the Diddler.
Yeah, they got a couple nicknames from the Diddlers.
And No Diddy, you interviewed Quilly.
Yeah, Quilly, my man Quilly. He got No Diddy trademarked.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. Every interview I've done since then, there's been like 50 No Diddys thrown out.
Got throw a little
all
No
over
Diddy
the
in there,
place. Well, Diddy's Miami and LA homes were raided, allegedly over sex trafficking allegations. His sons Justin and King were handcuffed. And Diddy himself was not arrested. He was questioned, I think. And they were saying, he's like trying to escape, to the Caribbean. But no, he's back in Miami. You see him photographed and videotaped around and everything else like that. But he hasn't been charged yet. Do you think he'll be charged?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. I mean, the feds don't do raids if they're fishing.
Yeah.
Usually it's like the final couple nails in the coffin.
Well, I do think they're fishing to some extent. But I do believe they've had him in the crosshairs for a long time. They've inquired, someone sent me a early 2000s article from Smoking Gun where it came out in a motion when Jimmy Henchman was questioned by the feds. And during the proffer session, they asked him randomly, they're like, hey, do you know anything about Diddy and his sexual escapades? That hints to we're investigating him. Mm-hmm. Maybe not an active, like, we're going crazy investigating, but they've been inquiring about Diddy and sexual allegations for quite some years, definitely over a decade. So, the point that they get to that they're kicking open the front door, they've now made up their mind. And they might not find what they want, but they'll make something up to get them. Because at this point, it's too embarrassing. So whether we all know if it comes out and he's only called, like he gets like a tax charge, we know they ain't find it at all. But I think at the very least they're coming with some charges, right? Me and I hate to even speculate on this because I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me if say I was truly innocent and going through that. But because the feds are doing it in the way they have, I gotta imagine that they're trying to apply the same things they did to R. Kelly, which is, they're going to go for sex trafficking and they're going to go for racketeering. And under racketeering is going to be the threats of violence. It's going to be possible shootings. There's going to be maybe sexual assault. Not even maybe, probably. And other things. And they're going to hit him with a bill that is, has so many charges. Diddy's 54. At this point, again, I'm watching all these things take place and I see Diddy making these public appearances, and I know what that is. If you ever got a lawyer, your lawyer won't tell you that. Hey, you're an innocent man. Yeah. Act like an innocent man, which means don't just hide in the crib and act like you're scared. Hey, walk around. You can ride your bicycle. Take a couple pictures with people. Except I don't think it's working to make people think he's innocent. I think people are trying to look at him to see, are you sweating? Are you breaking? Yeah. And we're going to see. I hope we don't get to the point where he does a Gayle King interview because I think his team is trying to control the press. If you don't realize, you see Stevie J. Remember when it first happened, they're like, "Where's his friends?" We're still saying where's his friends. Yeah. But now Stevie J's posting videos of everybody who went to the Diddy party. Hey, you motherfuckers! None of y'all, hey, all y'all quiet motherfuckers who went to the party. Remember, you were here too. You can say something. Post the video. You see everybody. Kanye West. You see The Weeknd. You see Kevin Hart. Even though that ain't the party. That, they say after the show is after party, and after the after party is the Diddy party. Yes, they talking about that part. They're not talking about the shit where everybody got tuxedos. Yeah. They're talking about the shit where, niggas got Speedos and shit going on, like some other shit. So, yeah, exactly. So, but they're trying to do their little PR thing. I'm seeing it happen. And, I definitely think he's going to be charged, man. It's just not looking good. Once they hit him with a racketeering charge, there's just too much things that are there. The person who's going to sink him is Cassie.
Right, because although he settled a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit with Cassie, and I'm sure the settlement included an NDA. I looked this up. NDAs are private agreements. When it comes to criminal charges, they're thrown out the window.
Yeah.
So she can be compelled to take the stand and repeat everything that she was basically signed in the NDA saying she wouldn't say. And from what I'm seeing in the news, she's actually cooperating with the feds.
Well, she would have to, I would believe.
She wouldn't have to unless she's being charged with something herself.
Well, if we're thinking about, again, we're assuming here, but let's keep assuming. If they're trying to get him for racketeering, and they're saying he has a criminal enterprise that have ensnared and entrapped and recruited women and
men.
And a lot of dudes, okay?
And men.
For the purpose of commercial sex acts. Well, let's go back to Cassie's own lawsuit. Mm-hmm. Cassie said, well, I was the one that were Googling big black dick men. You know, she was the one hiring people.
Right. I heard from somebody, and I can't say who it is, that a lot of these threesomes with male prostitutes, Cassie was the one that was out getting them, that she was into this.
Okay.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
I'm not going to say by who, but that's what I heard. And that's not very far-fetched, you know? You got a young girl, you know, she probably enjoys sex with young, you know, muscular men her own age as opposed to this older guy. Okay.
What did you hear about what Diddy was doing, man? Was it like, that's just odd. That's the odd part of it. Diddy's whacking off in a corner while another man boning his girl. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, anyway. Okay, so if we're going down that train of thought.
Yeah.
So that she was actively recruiting. Whether it was by force, which she's alleging, like, hey, I didn't want to do it. He was making me do it. This reminds us of what the feds allege and actually have laid out with Jeffrey Epstein. They say Ghislaine Maxwell was brought in. Sometimes she would bring girls around.
Yeah.
Like, hey, listen, okay, we're going to get you into a massage class. Or she was the person that would be like, hey, no, it's okay. Look, I'm a woman too. I'm here. She was very active, right? Ghislaine Maxwell was charged.
Right. She's in prison now.
Ghislaine Maxwell never came out and said she was a victim. Cassie said she's a victim. I'm pretty sure they have sat with Cassie and say, hey, listen, you're a victim, but there is a way to look at this that you're not a victim.
Right. You could be charged and you can go to prison.
Yes.
You got 2 kids. Think about that. Now you can cooperate, though.
Exactly.
And we'll make all this go away.
You've helped this enterprise get other women and men into this thing. And yeah, we believe your victim story, but we'll believe it if you're cooperating. If you don't want to cooperate, you seem like you're guilty. And we're probably going to look at you. We'll give you an immunity deal. Sign this deal.
Yeah, fully cooperate.
Fully cooperate.
Yeah, take the stand. And what you could do, which is crazy because not only did she get paid, but she's going to basically help put Diddy in jail if that's actually what happens. You know, and then, of course, there's the Lil Rod lawsuit, which then ties in Daphne Joy, 50 Cent's baby mother, and Young Miami as sex workers as well.
I think the Lil Rod lawsuit was all BS.
I think most of it is BS. I actually read through the whole thing. And there's things in there saying like, Diddy promised that if I produce his album, he'll give me his $20 million Miami mansion. Like, really?
Hey,
really?
Hey, I have a deep dive.
Come on, get out of here.
I have a whole deep dive on what I think that is. That is, it's related to a lawyer that's been accused of shakedown attempts.
Isn't the lawyer being charged with something, or like the judge is like accusing him of something?
Just yesterday or 2 days ago, another federal court judge actually referred him to a grievance committee, saying that he has a pattern of filing salacious lawsuits with the intent of embarrassing popular citizens, hoping to settle quick rather than go through the legal process. And they're using the legal process, so they cite what's called Rule 11 for how attorneys should operate. It's like almost a code of conduct in the court process. You're not supposed to file frivolous lawsuits or lawsuits in bad faith to leverage elsewhere to either circumvent the process or taint the process. And if you're now you're filing these erroneous lawsuits with these crazy allegations, and your thought is only to get the person settled, you don't even intend to really go to court. So this person's being scolded in federal court. Now they're going to grievance committee. They were behind dragging Nicki Minaj into the case where they represented Kenneth Petty's the victim.
Yeah.
Again, who knows what happened there? I'm not saying these people aren't victims, but Nicki Minaj was not there. but Nicki Minaj has the bag. So you got to extort her, allegedly. Then, if you look at the other situation, Tiffany Haddish got her career almost damn near ruined when allegedly one of the parents of one of the kids that was in that video sued her. Allegedly, there was a lot more to it. That parent was even cool with Tiffany Haddish years afterwards, and even months before that lawsuit. What happened? Settled. You know what's in common? Same lawyer.
Yeah.
Lil Rod, same lawyer.
Same lawyer.
Yesterday, Christian Combs, the new allegation with a yacht, same lawyer.
Right. And Christian Combs, Justin got El Chapo's lawyer.
Hey, let me tell you this. One of the things, I started saying this on my stream today, I said, something about this don't smell right. And, I'm in the media, but I definitely I owe it to my audience to, try to be as independent as possible. It's the reason why independent media is winning. And something about some of this doesn't sound right. There's no defense of Diddy. I think Cassie and there's a few other victims, they're the one. By the way, here's the thing too: the feds haven't even talked to Lil Rod. If all the information,
I heard about this. Yeah.
If all the information,
if all this was true, because
the feds don't even see like they won't talk to you.
Yeah, there was a thing in the Lil Rod lawsuit saying that Diddy and his son shot a man in the bathroom and then put him outside and said it was a drive-by. Say that Diddy would always try to touch his anus and he would shower in front of him and
feds ain't even talk to him.
There's so much kind of just crazy. This is where the Young Miami and the Daphne Joy sex worker thing is, and of course, 50's having a field day.